Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Apollonia Cross, and today I just wanted to come in and do a wellness check-in with you guys because we are at like 8 weeks left with the year, and this is where most people just, if they haven't already, they really start to just throw in the towel on their self-care goals. And you can probably start to feel like, there's no point, especially if you're where you're currently at right now is nowhere where you felt like you were going to be at. And so I just wanted to come on and do a quick check in with you guys to see how you all are doing and also share a few of the things that I am doing to start recalibrating and reestablishing my own self-care goals going into the holiday season. So if this is your first time tuning with me, welcome. My name is Apollonia Cross and I'm a wellness coach, and I love helping mompreneurs learn how to manage and improve their self-care as they are going through growing their families and building their businesses, because this is the most busiest season of the year for for all of us moms, and for those of my mamas who also own a business, this is the crunch time psycho year for you guys too. So really doing a self check-in before Black Friday and all of those things really kick in, if you haven't already started focusing on that yet, this is that time that you really want to do it and just reestablish your self-care goals, and honestly, like, change some things around to where you're not so hard on yourself and you're really just shifting it on into a perspective of maintenance. So as I am talking, let me know where you guys are at in the world so I can just say hi with you guys. Hi with you guys. Say hi to you guys. Like, I see Stephanie. Hello. Welcome from Pennsylvania. How is the weather out there? I am here in California, and so we have had our first 2 days of rain and, like, honestly, real fall weather. It hasn't been. It's basically been like summer up until this past like week, and now we're in like the 60s and it's raining and stuff like that. So thankfully we're now really just experiencing the fall season, and I love it, which now I have a sweater. And so this is great, but also the downside that is the fall and winter season is we're going to start having less sun. It's going to be a lot colder. Things are going to be a little bit more gloomy. So for those of you who may struggle with anxiety or depression, you're going to start to feel, this is that season where you want to start to be very mindful with your activities and intentional with the things that you do, and really want to start tracking your moods and your emotions, because unfortunately, when we don't have a lot of vitamin D and sunlight, our moods can kind of, go a little crazy. So and we're already going to go a little crazy because it's a holiday season. It's a great time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the most stressful, frustrating time of the year. It can be, at least, just depends on how you look at it. So I'm excited to just kind of check in with you guys. I haven't been doing these lives a lot, just a lot has been happening. And so for me personally, hitting this reset and refresh button is just right on time for me. Um, and I am just really excited to even be able to do this, because a lot of the times, and what I used to do before, I used to beat myself up so much because at the beginning of the year, I had all these big goals: I lose so much weight. I lose, like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds by this date and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to be back in this size pants and that size pants. And then the holidays come around. And if you are someone who has struggled with an eating disorder, or if you have an emotional trigger when it comes to food in general, this can be a very difficult and stressful time for you. And so I really want to touch on that because I can completely understand. The comfort food comes in, family comes in and welcomes you, and you want to be able to just enjoy yourself and have fun. And if you have been on a weight loss journey, or maybe you have just trying to be a lot more mindful about what you're eating, and now the holidays are here and you can probably be feeling like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know there's going to be turkey, I know there's going to be ham. I've made so much progress. I really don't want to blow it all. Like you can completely get into this psychological downfall and overwhelm of being afraid to even be able to enjoy yourself. And so that's like, oh, that was really another reason why I wanted to talk about this is because of the fact like this is not that season unless of course if you're really truly trying to focus on you have a wedding coming up that you're going to be in or if you're doing a bikini competition, you got a vacation and you have like a deadline that you have to meet that coincides with the holidays. Like if that is you, then yeah, you definitely want to do your best to stay the course, but if that is not you and you're somebody who is purely focused on trying to maintain a happy and healthy overall health and well being, then this is where you really want to set realistic goals for yourself. Okay. You do not want to stress out and completely ruin your holiday experience if all you're going to do is not be able to enjoy any like food that you might want, like cake or even like the extra like I don't know, mashed potatoes and gravy, like whatever you want around this time of year. Like this is not that time to really go. It's not the time to think of deprivation. This is the time to think of moderation. Okay. And hi, Bonita, I see you. But yeah, like I said, this is not the time for deprivation. This is the time for moderation. Everything is good for you in a healthy moderation. So if you're wanting to be able to enjoy a slice of cake without the guilt, then you want to make some slight adjustments to what you're eating, or maybe just kick in an extra gym day during the week. But the more important thing to remember is that it's more about how you are being intentional as well as how you are managing yourself around the foods. You don't want to get yourself worked up and also upset because you're not, you're sitting around the plate of food that's going to be there and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want some. And like, you just don't want to do that to yourself. Like, why? Like, that's not the point of the holiday season. The point of the holiday season is to be thankful for all the things that we have and also be thankful for the family sharing in the joy and the food and just be the abundance, but you're not going to want to overdo it either. So but like I said, the biggest thing you want to remember during this time of the year is moderation, not deprivation, because deprivation will make you depressed, like overly depriving yourself of things that you may want or need for the sake of trying to meet your weight loss goal by a specific deadline. Like I said, unless you absolutely have to, I really want to encourage you on just reestablishing and just kind of reshifting your mindset and your priorities and allow yourself to give yourself some grace right now. And because we're going to have the potlucks come on, you don't have to go to every single one. This does not mean you go to pig out or any of the things, but this is where you just get to allow yourself that time to really enjoy being in the season. Okay. And so Benita said, I have been so off track. My anxiety attacks have been frequent, but I'm getting better. It helps when I catch your live videos. I appreciate it. So, oh, that means so much, Benita. Thank you. And I get it. Like, it's not fun when you're having these emotional spirals. It's not fun. And so this is why I'm saying like you want to really take that time to check in with yourself and really say, okay, how am I currently doing? Not what the goal is, right? Because sometimes we can be so focused on the goal and we can completely block ourselves to what is presently going on for the sake of the goal. Because we're like, I'm going to be able to make it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to push. I'm going to push, going to push. And sometimes that can be even more detrimental to us than it is to say, I'm going to take a break. Personally, that is really where I am finding myself right now. I was actually just talking to my sister a little bit earlier and just having a moment. Transparency here, right? Like I was having a moment and I was just like, like I am feeling like I'm truly in a season to where I am focusing and I need to just focus on being versus trying to push or to try to thrive right now. Like thriving and like I know those things are where I want to be able to do be, but where I am currently at right now, my mental and emotional and my physical and my spiritual state right now is I really need to just focus on being. And what by being mean is being present, like truly being who I am, really getting into and remembering who I am. And if you're finding yourself in a difficult season to where you're kind of just going through the motions, right? Like you're going through the motions, you're doing things, right? You're being so productive and you're caught in the busy of getting things done and doing all the things, but then finding yourself like randomly just having a breakdown. You're just crying and you don't know why and what's going on, but you're like, but I was still going to the gym. I was still doing all these. Like, what's wrong with me? Sis, you're probably just burned out. And that's okay. You need to take a break. That I say with all the love and transparency because it's a lot easier for me to encourage and let you know that it's okay for you to need and take a break for yourself. But it is a lot more difficult for us to allow ourselves the same type of courtesy and grace. And like I said, I say this with all the love and with my one on one clients. And even when I was doing my group challenge groups, and I was really into health and fitness, it was so easy to be able to encourage and support others, right? But we're so hard on ourselves. It's so hard to allow ourselves off the hook sometimes because let's be honest, sometimes you feel like, no, I've been off the hook for so long. No, I need to just tough this out. I just need to tough that out. Well, maybe you've been toughing it out for a very, very long time. And now you're at a point to where you're not really feeling anything. Like you really aren't really there or really present. You're just well, you're there, but you're not really there. And that can be a very dangerous place to be. So this is where we're going into Thanksgiving. We're going into the holiday season. We're going into the winter times. There's going to be parties. There's going to be a lot of fun activities and things that we can allow ourselves to enjoy and not push so hard for a goal. That's okay if that is what you so choose, but really take that time and really, really ask yourself, like, where am I currently at right now? How am I truly feeling? Do I need to make some adjustments? Or do I feel good with on the route that I'm going? Or do I feel like I have it in me to keep pushing, to kind of reach and keep pushing? Like maybe go ahead, I can push to try to make a weight loss goal or push to try to make this sale or whatever your goals are right now. That's okay. There's nothing absolutely wrong with pushing, but really ask yourself and do it for you, not for anybody else, not for the old you, right? Who may have set these really, really big, unrealistic, aspirational goals for yourself. And now you're really having to step back and be like, okay, I can't. Like, and it's not that you're giving up. You're just, sometimes you got to just be straight up honest with yourself and be like, look, nope, that's not something I can do right now. And that's okay. All right. So we're not completely giving up. We're just reestablishing some things and reconnecting with ourselves right now in the present moment and making those adjustments that are needed to be made. And Bonita said, I'm letting you know right now when I come to California next year, I want to meet up with you. Yeah, that would be great. Yes, I would love to meet up with you in person. That would be awesome. I love meeting up with people, especially on social, online and stuff. It's always great to make a connection with my community all here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Like I really, really love and enjoy that. And so whenever you do make it out into my neck of the woods and you'd like to connect, that would be amazing. So yes, yeah, let's put that Let's give that one to God and be like, let's make it happen. Okay. But so let's get back to looking at what does it mean to reestablish goals, right? Like I kind of already went on that blurb. So just to give you a little bit of what I am currently focusing on is I personally I've set I lied, four major goals for myself for my own personal self-care going into the holiday season because it's busy. Like life is always busy for me with the kids, but at the same time, right now, what I'm really just focusing on is being very intentional and in tune with myself. I'm a very, very ambitious type of a person. But with that being said, I tend to have a habit to push myself to the detriment and completely ignore what my true self and what's really going on. Like, I need someone to tell me sometimes, like, no, you need to stop. You need to sit down. And so let me know in the comments if that is you. You're like, no, coach. Like I told my husband, and it was funny because I just told him, I was like, what it feels like, because we kind of tend to have the same we have this, we do it for each other, but we also do it to each other in the sense that it's like a double-edged sword. But we both kind of have this habit of, we're like, no coach, the football player whose leg is broke but they're on the bench like, no coach, I can make it, just put me in, I'll keep going, I'll bring it home for us. My husband and I both have that same exact mentality. And unfortunately, we also have the same mentality to try to tell each other what to do. So it doesn't always work out that well. But in that being said, we can both at least recognize with each other when and be able to lovingly, the best that we can, tell each other, like, no, you need to slow down because you need to take a break. You're doing a little too much, and it's okay that you slow down right now. Or, it's always great to have a partner, your spouse, or even a sister or a friend to really sit and have that conversation with you. Like, look, sis, you need that break. It's time. And so give yourself permission to do that right now. So maybe instead of focusing on your weight loss right now, maybe it's focusing on being intentional with the people you surround yourself with around the holidays. Because this can be a great season where you surround yourself with lots of family and friends and good times and happy times, or it can be something where you're really apprehensive and kind of triggered because you're having to be around family members you don't necessarily get along with, or you're concerned about with this history being brought up and blah 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 blah, right? So maybe your self-care goal right now is to protect your energy. That is a very huge one that I feel like a lot of us really underestimate. Like, it's one thing when we think of self-care, we more so think of the weight loss goals, the spa days, and all of those things, but we really don't pay as much attention as protecting our space, protecting our peace, protecting our energy, and making sure that we are surrounding ourselves with encouragement and love and supportive energy and people and experiences. And so maybe that, instead of, to help you shift your mindset away from weight loss, go into a maintenance factor where you might lessen how often you're going to the gym because you're not going to push so hard, right? But you're focusing on maintaining a consistent exercise routine just for your mental health and well being and your physical health, right? But then maybe incorporating more time with quality friends that you really, really love to be around, or maybe you haven't been around because you have been so focused on your goals. That's okay to prioritize that right now. And that's definitely what's going to be needed because as the holidays and things get really, really kicked in, right? This is where we get busy. And it's very easy to get so focused on the kids, your spouse, your aunt, cooking for the parties, and all of the things to where you truly just don't even make time for yourself. Or if you're like me and you have a business and you're really trying to hit those end of quarter goals, these are the late nights orders being filled and all of those things, that adds a whole nother level of stress on top of the family stress, right? So this is where you really want to be like, all right, okay, I got so many weeks left in the end of the year. These are the things that tend to kind of happen around this time of the year for me. How can I better manage this in a healthier way? So that way, number one, I do not burn out. Number two, I can stay present and involved with my family versus just kind of like a numb being. Let me know if that's something you've ever related to, right? Um, or what was the last train of thought? Forgot the last thing I was gonna say. But yeah, really take that time to really reassess your self-care goals and figure out what it is that you want to do right now to help you just maintain a happier, more intentional and present you. And so some of my self-care goals that I wrote down, I don't I'm not going to do an overhead shot because I'm going to do a full wellness plan with me, but I wrote down all of my self-care goals right here in my wellness planner on the side. And so the first one for me that I really wanted to do, because this is something that has kind of been really lacking for me, because going to the gym 3 times a week. Now, for me, I would normally work out at home, but because all I do is stay at home with kids, being at home has become triggering for me. Being at home too much, actually, to where I feel like I am a hamster running around in the wheel. So working out in one part of the house and being with the kids in another part of the house, and then working in my bedroom and then going back down. I literally feel like a hamster living in a cage. And so for me, instead of working out at home, my goal is to work on continuously, intentionally going to the gym and actually working out. Because what I have been doing is prioritizing using gym time as a way to work in peace instead of actually work out. Bet you didn't know you could do that at the gym, right? That, I promise you, is going to change your life. But as beneficial that it is, and I can be so productive, what was happening to me is I was so focused on just keep running through the hamster wheel. I actually wasn't pausing and really taking care of myself. Like, I love working with my one on one clients. I love creating my posts and creating content for you guys. And I am somebody, like, I need to be able to focus. I don't need a lot. I can't have too many distractions around because it will drive me insane. And so I need my kids to be somewhere else so I can have some peace and quiet and be able to focus and be present with what is going on in the task at hand. And so using my gym membership and the daycare that they provide for that is an amazing blessing. But when it comes to my personal physical, mental, and emotional health, it was declining because all I felt like was if I wasn't running and doing something with the kids, if I wasn't running around the house, taking care of the house and the kids, I was trying to focus on my business. I was literally just not doing anything for me. And as a wellness coach, this is something you're like, no, I need to do something for me. Like this is something like we should already be doing, right? And I was little bits by little bits, but now I'm like, no, I'm going to be very intentional and unapologetically 2 hours a day, 3 times a week, use the gym membership as a gym membership and actually work out. There's a total of 6 days I can go to the gym and the daycare is available. So making sure that I find that healthy balance for myself and rebuild in physical exercise time for myself outside of home is the number one thing on my list. The second thing on my list is to read the book, The One Thing. And that book, actually, it's in my purse. Let me grab it real quick so I can show you. Hold on. Okay, give me a minute, baby. You said what?
They're eating too much candy.
Who's eating candy?
The girls.
Okay, I don't know how they got it, but please get the candy and take that downstairs.
Okay.
Thank you. Love you. Like I said, mom life is 24/7. So using the gym so your girl can get a break and be in peace, I'm telling you, it was what it was just what I was doing. Like I just needed to have that peace. I needed to be able to be alone unapologetically. And but now it's time for me to get back into my physical health again. So that was that. And now as far as the book, this is my second goal is to finish rereading this book and honestly take my time through it and really absorb it. Now, if you're like me and you love to read books because your mind is always going so fast, you just always want to make sure that you're pouring in some type of positivity. That is a great thing, but sometimes when we are consuming so much, we can get information overload. And so what I really wanted to make sure that I'm doing is I am listening to one audio book, which is called The Audacity to Be Queen, which by Gina DeVee, and I love this book. This is more of like a women empowerment and queen embodiment book that I highly recommend. I've reread this like so many times, but for that woman encouragement, that is what I'm reading. Mommy, Nana. Okay, go ask brother. Nana. Go ask brother, okay? Nana. Okay, Chad wants water. And then this book is called The One Thing because it really focuses on learning how to prioritize and choose one focus area for yourself. Because one thing for me is I multitasking is just what I do because I kind of don't have a choice. Like there's always somebody, something going around all the time, 24/7 around me. And so, and with having a lot of big goals and aspirations, I always have so many things going on that I want to do. And so learning how to be focused and intentional with my time and choosing one major priority is it's a stretch for me. And so that was why I really wanted to reread and dive into absorbing this book this month because just learning how to get back into focus and one taking one step and one thing at a time. Um, that is a habit and a lifestyle that needs to be rebuilt for me. And so that's why I chose that book. And then some other habits that I am focusing on is doing my mindful mama meditation. Now, if you are not familiar with this app, I love this app. It is a meditation app for moms and it's called Mindful Mama. You can pull that up on Google or Android or not. Yeah, you could pull it up on Play Store for Google for Android phones or look it up um on iPhone if you're an iPhone user. But I really, really love this app because it has different meditations and you can actually put it in to where you can enter in what age your kids are. And so it'll pull up different meditations as well as affirmations and mantras based off of your current season of motherhood that you're in. And I think that's so important to really, really like be aware of because every stage of motherhood is very different, like very, very different. So the 1 to 5 year old stage is like a crazy busy, constantly needing attention phase. And when you get into grade school, you got a little bit of a break, but then there's like school activities afterwards. And so like there's different stages of motherhood, and in each of those stages we need different things as moms to help us still maintain our peace and be intentional with our health care, our self-care and our mental health. And so I really, really love that app and I highly recommend it if that is something that you're wanting, like a quick 5-minute meditation or even something to help you sleep better at night. It has a great variety, so I highly recommend that you check that out. And then the next thing that I'm really that I'm focusing on rebuilding into a daily habit is my morning routine. I've fallen off of that very hard. I won't say very hard, but it's been inconsistent just for the fact that I've been tired lately, more than I have before. And also with our kids' schedules and things changing because we have different activities and stuff. It I And I'm sure you guys can relate if you have kids too. You base your schedule based off of the kids versus setting a consistent time, irregardless of the kids. And depending on the stage of life that you're in and how your kids are, it can vary. My children wake up from 6 o'clock and don't like to go to sleep till 9 o'clock. So my time for myself has to happen between either before 5:30 a.m. or after 9 o'clock, 9:30 p.m. Or if I get it in between time, it's because I'm actually able to have somebody help with watching the kids, or they're on like tablet time or screen time. So it really just varies, and it can really be difficult on when I'm able to go to sleep and be able to wake up early again. And so just getting back my soul care routine in the morning for me is a really, really big goal and what I'm currently focusing on for my own personal self care. And that really was just waking up early and getting in my devotional time, doing some stretches, and also making sure that I'm hydrated and eating first thing in the morning to help start my metabolism. That's something that I really, really fallen off. And when that happens, I kind of just forget to eat like for hours, and that's not healthy. So, getting back into that and building some form of regularity into my personal self care routine is really where my self care goals are and what I'm going to be tracking in my wellness planner. So, and that's all that I am focusing on for the end of the year. I'm not trying to focus on pushing for a big weight loss goal. I'm not trying to focus on trying to eat more veggies and all of those things right now. For me, it is more for my mental and emotional well being. So that way I'm intentionally present and mindful of my energy and my peace so I can rebuild myself again instead of focusing on, and so I can get out of this do busy, busy push mode that I've been in for so long. And whether you're doing that for your business or whether you've just been doing it for your family, it's okay to learn how to unwork that and find and create that healthy harmony for yourself. Finding balance is like not, it doesn't really exist because it's always going to go up and down and change periodically. But creating a harmonious balance in between, or a harmonious, I don't know how to balance, I don't really want to say, but creating harmony with all of the things that you have going on to where you're productive but yet also fulfilled and at peace with everything is really what you want to aspire to. You don't want to be burned out. You don't want to be stressed out and overwhelmed, but you do want to be able to be fulfilled and productive and present. And so that's really just where I am personally striving for. And so I'd love to hear you guys share in the comments below, or even after the video's over, share in the comments and let me know what some of your self-care goals are for the holidays, and let's root each other on. And so I'm excited though, actually, going into the holiday season because we got decorating coming in. We get to decorate the house for Christmas and all of the things. And that's always such a great way to create a good vibe, right? If you are a decorator, let me know. Those are always fun. But I'm looking forward to closing out this year strong because it's been a very rough year. It's been a rough few years, but this was a very, very rough personal year for me. Um, and you get, you know, especially when you're a fighter and you're a warrior and you keep fighting, you get tired. And that's okay. So, taking some time, if this has also been a very rough and difficult time for you this year, it's okay to take that time for yourself to just bring it back and slow it on down a little bit. And that way you can rebuild. And that way, when 2023 comes up in 8 weeks, you're like, boom, let's go. I am ready. I'm rejuvenated and I'm a run, right? So, all right, you guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. I'll be going on doing another live on Saturday, what I have scheduled. So once I can be official on that time, I will make sure that I schedule that time so you guys can see and hopefully being able to hang out with me on the live and we can talk then. All right. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.